Right, so I bought and played Republic Commando earlier this week, and I finished it, and now I want to give my overall thoughts on the game, and also compare it to Jedi Fallen Order, just because I don't really have any other reason. I'm going to split it up into 5 categories: combat, gameplay, and by gameplay I mainly mean how well it runs, glitches, characters, story, and weapons? Is that what? I don't know. We'll see. I don't have a script. But anyway, let's go. So if I'm being honest with you, the story doesn't really matter that much. The story is mainly do this task I've set you, complete it, do something else. Especially on Geonosis. Geonosis is just the opening, and it really does not connect to the rest of the story. Now, the parts on the Star Destroyer and Kashyyyk, while they do have story, it's not really a massive one. It's just kind of setting up the two together. It just kind of connects them. And the only way Geonosis ties into that is, well, for one, someone reported their efforts on Geonosis, which is why they go on the Star Destroyer, and two, the Geonosians show up on Kashyyyk for some reason. So overall, the story does not really matter. But that's okay. It's mainly character driven. And it's more just out of fun, really. Unlike Jedi Fallen Order, the story is not really needed for a game like this. But let's move on to graphics. My god, the transition between each of these parts is so much cancer, I love it. But really, the graphics, I don't think they're that bad. Honestly, they're not, of course, they're dated, and they're not passable for like a really big game nowadays, but you still see some games that do look like this. And for a 15-year-old game, it really does not look that bad. It looks quite nice. I enjoy the look, but definitely the best part is the actual clone commandos. Scorch, Fixer, Boss, and Zev all look amazing. The rest of the clones, they don't look bad. Of course, they don't look good, but they don't look bad. Now, the only things I would say actively look really, really bad is the Trandoshans, as such as some bloody goblin, and why they're so short really just confuses me. And also the Wookiees. They are, well, I guess they're thick. Too thick, some might say. But that's really it for graphics and designs. The commandos look great. Everything else looks okay, not bad. And then the Wookiees and Trandoshans are crap. But moving on. Now the gameplay, how it runs on Xbox One, which is what I used it on. It works fine. It's not bad at all. There were very few glitches. The only time I did encounter a glitch, which made me stop playing the game, was when a door glitched on Kashyyyk. But besides that, the game runs surprisingly well. And I know on PC, the screen is a little smaller. It's not like that on Xbox, but on PC, the game's just like a square and doesn't take up the entire screen. Well, you have mods to fix that. You can go get a mod. But if you don't really know how to get mods and you don't want a small screen, then I'm afraid to say you're buggered. Also, 2020's over. I was meant to mention that in Thursday's video, but I didn't. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter now. But the gameplay, it runs fine. The combat, I'm about to get onto that. So everything runs fine, including when you can tell your squad mates to do things. Everything worked fine. You can get them to get back to. They even do it themselves. Because the thing is, if the AI for the other characters doesn't work, then this game can't work. It's crucial that the gameplay in a game like this does work. And luckily, it does. For a game that came out 15 years ago, and, well, I guess 16 years ago, in February, but we're in January right now. Well, you'd see that if you looked at the date this was made, but it doesn't matter. It runs really well. The only thing I couldn't do is to get my squad to form up, follow me. I didn't know how to do that, but that doesn't really matter. That's probably just me. And yeah, runs great. I like it. But now we are moving on to the combat. So the combat, and I'm mainly going to talk about the weapons, but the combat's great. All the weapons I saw were great. All the weapons I used, they were fantastic. My favourite weapon isn't even a blaster. It's the little knife that comes out of your hand, and you can just stab the droids with it. It's great. I like that weapon. Also, one more thing. That little wipe that comes across your screen whenever you get a little bit of oil or blood on it. And it just takes it off. That's the best. We need that for a sequel. This game needs a sequel. Like Jedi Fallen Order, it deserves one. But what else is there? But yeah, the only two weapons that I didn't think were that great were the Trandoshan shotgun, which I could never hit my target with. I tried so hard, but every single time I missed my target. And also the Wookiee bowcaster, as that did so little damage, it was not worth it. But overall, all the other weapons, they're great. And that's really it. You can do different things with each. I noticed myself using the anti tank gun blaster, whatever it's called. I can't remember off the top of my head. Just to kill the super battle droids, as they are really hard in this game, really tough. I don't understand why they are so strong. That was a weird choice, but oh well. You can still complete the game even when they're this strong. But now we will move on to the final part. Easily my favourite part of the entire game is the characters. The characters carry most of this game. They are by far the best part. Boss is halfway between Fixer and Scorch. He cares for his brothers. He will do what's right for them, but will also follow orders. He's not like Scorch and gets over emotional, and he's not like Fixer, just like a blind droid basically. He will do what he thinks he should do. He just follows his moral compass basically. Also, he has some of the best lines. They're so quotable. I love the one where he comes across a lightsaber. An elegant weapon for an elegant time. But times have changed. That's just such a cool line. And then also we have Scorch, who is also pretty quotable, and it's just, he's hilarious. He is really funny. And like Boss, he does care a lot more about his brothers, and is more willing to save his brothers than to sort of just follow orders. He's a good soldier, until his brothers are in danger. Then Fixer, he always gets annoyed, has petty arguments with Scorch. He is basically the standard soldier, just follow your orders, get it done. Your brothers don't really matter when you have to, leave. I think Fixer definitely does care, just doesn't really show it. And finally Zev, he's also like Boss. He'll follow orders and save his brothers. He is also he's also pretty funny. He's just so screwed up. He's my favourite psychopath. I really want to see him again. I need to know what happens to him. It just leaves on a cliffhanger. And then also, your advisor, the clone advisor. He's fun, Doesn't do that much though. Also, Yoda shows up, but it's only for Kashyyyk. Also, I think some of the timeline's wrong, because this is like 1,017 days into the war? That's not 3 years. That's not 3 years of the war. That's because the Clone Wars takes over 3 years, and this is meant to be at the end of the war. So I think they've screwed that up a little bit. Just, push it back like 200 extra days, and then I'm sure you'll be there. But it doesn't matter. This game is great. I'd say Jedi Fallen Order is the better made game, but the game I personally prefer more is Republic Commando. So Jedi Fallen Order is the better game, but this one I do prefer more. And I'd give this one an 8 out of 10. And Jedi Fallen Order, I did a review of it. I feel like I've been too harsh on it. I've got I'm going to put a link in the comment section to my old review. It's not that good. I'd recommend you don't watch it. But yeah, it's pretty bad. I feel like I went way too harsh on the game. I really like the combat from the game, but we're not talking about the game. We're talking about Republic Commando. I give this one an 8 out of 10. Jedi Fallen Order 7 out of 10. That's also a great game. But this one, for me, is just a little bit better. But tell me what you think in the comments. Or not. I don't really care. And I'll see you later, soldiers.